Almost exactly 10 years ago, in a typical roundabout way, China made clear who its next leader would be. A man who no longer earlier has been fearless famous than his folk singer wife was made vice chairman of Communist Party's Central Military Commission. Sure enough, 2 years later, he took charge of the party and the armed force and became China's most powerful ruler since Mao Zedong. What precedent to be followed? A meeting of senior officials in Beijing this week would have provided such a clue about who would succeed Xi Jinping. It brought nothing of the sort. 五中全会应该是确定接班人的时候，但是谁是接班人呢？ There's no surprise when China's constitution was revised in 2018 to scrap a limit of 2 5-year terms for post of state president, which means Xi also held. It was a clear signal that he did not wish to step down when his 10 years were up. As head of the party, he was not bound by any term limited, but his president Hu Jintao has given up both party and state roles in quick succession. Ms. Xi has expected to follow Ms. Gu's lead. 干完10年之后还得接着干。For anyone still no doubt about Ms. Xi's intentions, the party's just concluded meeting gave a hint and auspiciously as one in 2010 that heralded his rise to power. A communique issued on October 22nd at the end of the 4-day conclusive of its roughly 370-strong Central Committee said the gathering has endorsed recommendations for a 5-year economic plan and a blueprint for China's development until 2035. But it made no mention of any new civilized appointment to the military commission. 制定了2035年的计划，但是没有提任何一个人进入新的军委委员会。The post of vice chairman is most important one for any future leader to hold before taking over. Ms. Hu got the job 3 years before he became general secretary. Without experience of how military commander works, a party chief may find it harder to assume control of the army. But still too informed vice chairman, but the continuing absence of a civilian at the level means China has no leader in waiting when time has full, but run out to be starting learning the rope before party's 20th Congress in 2022. A civilian vice president was also a member of the Parliamentary Standing Committee, but a refresher of the 7-member body in 2017 did not include any of the unusual sort of age of someone be grooming for succession. 没有新人进入七人的常委会，也没有年轻的面孔。There's occasionally complaints in China about the Ms. Xi's determination to hold power indefinitely. In August, Cai Xia, a public intellectual, was expelled from the party and stripped of his pension by its most prestigious academy for training leaders, the Central Party School, when she had studied and taught for 20 years before retiring. Among comments that apparently resulted in his punishment was her description of Ms. Xi's grabbing of 2-term limits, something the Central Committee has forced to swallow like a dog shit. Mr. Tsai is now abroad. 指鹿为马，像吃了狗屎一样。But as far as can be guessed from China's obscure political working, Ms. Xi remained as powerful as ever, as seemingly fit enough to keep going well beyond 2022. He will turn 69 that year by conversion too old to remain in office. But that is not a hard of a fast rule. One liberal like Ms. Tsai grumble, as no doubt, those who have suffered as a result of his ruthless campaign against corruption, political purge, the little signs of strong anti-Xi sentiment among the public. 民众并没有太多的反对。In some ways, it has been a good year for Ms. Xi, with many Chinese proud of their country's success in crushing COVID-19 and getting the economy back on track. Party propagandists has been working hard to boost such sentiment. The term "people leader" rarely applied to his post-Mao predecessors is sometimes used in state media when referring to Ms. Xi, 人民领袖，爱人民. It may also, however, be anxious time behind closed doors. Party Congress's rubber-stamp decision that has been made is secret beforehand. Even though the next one is still 2 years away, the build-up is a tense time in Chinese politics and leaders bargaining over policy and appointments. The party's 18th Congress, at which Ms. Xi came to power, followed a protracted political struggle highlighted by the dramatic downfall of Bo Xilai, a contender for highest office. There's no sign that Ms. Xi faced another such challenge. In July, the party launched a polite stream in a handful of places for new purge, this time aimed at the judiciary, police, and the secret police. One state aimed to root out two-faced people who has destroyed the party. They will be rolled out nationwide next year and will wrap up earlier in 2022, a few months before the 20th Congress. 清除公检法中的两面人. It's not yet clear how Ms. Xi intend to exercise his power beyond the Congress. He could simply keep his current position. Another rumor option is he might prefer an even greater title than that of General Secretary, which has not always indicated that hold a wide superior power. In the 1980s, Deng Xiaoping, who authorities seemed from his position as chairman of the military commission, sacked two general secretary. This coup became general secretary in 2002, but remained overshadowed by his president Jiang Zemin, who held the crucial military position until 2004. Ms. Xi could revive the title of party chairman, and raising himself to the great harassment of high level. 党总书记变成党主席. He was clearly used the Congress to install more of his protege. By that time, the Prime Minister Li Keqiang will have served his constitutional military maxim of 2 terms. Ms. Li was not installed by Ms. Xi, who may look forward to appoint someone closer to him. Unusually, there is no obvious political person who has the experience, is right kind of age, and crucially, who is close to Xi. Leaving this choice until closer to time may not bother him. However, since Ms. Xi became leader, the prime ministership has become less important, has taken over its core responsibility, directing the economy. 总理被削权，主席直接接管经济. The biggest unknown is who would emerge as China's paramount leader if Ms. Xi suddenly became unable to rule. The result of days or years, there's no clear line of succession within the party. Without Ms. Xi, no one is currently 25 members of Politburo would stand head and shoulder above the rest. Younger leaders such as the party chief of the southern west region of Chongqing, Chen Ming'er, who has long been tipped as a forerunner for post-Ms. Xi leadership, many lack sufficient seniority to help in an emergency. Ms. Xi's sudden departure could plunge China into political turmoil. 如果习不在的话，谁能接班呢？ The Central Committee just concluded meeting may have made Ms. Xi plan to return power in 2022 even more certain, has done nothing to instill confidence in China's political future. 前途堪忧。